All right, welcome everyone to another 5 a.m. club where we talk about faith, fitness, finance, and business. And today we got a special guest, Mario Haskett Jr., VA to Harvard. Yo, that's crazy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. HU to HU, all the HUs. I'm there.
Yo, it's funny because I was looking up how many black students attend Harvard, and I don't know if this is right, but it's a 6.2% total enrollment. Another
I
5 a.m.
mean,
club.
oh, let me turn my
We
phone
talk
down.
about
I have
faith,
tuned in on my
fitness,
phone too.
finance.
But I don't know what the exact stats are right now. But I mean, it's always been black being one of the minorities there. I know the acceptance rates of getting into Harvard, period, are low. I mean, that's kind of one of the selling points to kids wanting to go there and get that prestigious stamp. Um, I would say that the black community there is very big though. The numbers might be low on paper or statistically, but they're alive and well there for sure.
That's fine.
Yeah, so with that being said, like only thing I know about Harvard is what I saw on Suits on Netflix. Yeah, like I come from. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about myself. I don't think we really got to that, and then we'll jump right into you. Pause, Josh, before you even say anything.
That's
So,
great.
um, so I grew up under a single mom, right? I think we all have outside of you. So it's like we are looking at you like you are another exception. Like you are like a unicorn in the black community, really. Like I know my mom, she did all she could. I know Donnie mom, we're actually related, and Josh the same. But our fathers weren't in the household. We may have saw our fathers, but being in the household, it wasn't common for us. So I guess the first question after I want to give you an introduction first and let you tell the people who you are. But right after that, I want to know like how was it having your dad in the household? So go ahead and introduce yourself and then jump right into that question.
Yeah, Mario Haskett Jr. I'm hailing from Yolanda Haskett and Mario Haskett of Richmond, Virginia, and Newport News, Virginia. Um, though I'm not the first, I don't believe I'm the first African American from here to go to Harvard. I think I'm the first of my pedigree to go to a school like Harvard. And when I say that, I'm coming from a background that has a lot of influence of, that country living, project upbringings, but then also those the same suburban living that kids get joked on for having when, we get up to schools like that. But with all that being said, after graduating from Harvard, I got my degree in psychology. My parents, they run a mental health agency here in Richmond, YEA, and I've always helped, kind of move that business along in the city and down to Newport News and hopefully down to Atlanta and Arizona soon. And it's just been instilled in me to continue to help and pass on what I know to other kids that look like me specifically, other kids in general. But I just want to show kids that we're getting to a point where it doesn't really matter what you look like or what situation you start with. If someone is around that can, offer you a lending hand, even if it's the slightest of handouts, it's okay to take it because at this point, everyone should be trying to build that one collective to where once we all get to those new heights, we can start pulling on each other, reaching back, reaching to the side, and building something bigger than what everyone's used to seeing. I know being fortunate to get up there to Harvard and just finish. It was so hard for me to finish because it was such a culture shock for me. I'm coming from a place where, how we talked before this and how we have had other meetings in the past that we've had, some of the slang we say or the cadence of my voice or just how I pronounce certain things to them, I'm having to repeat myself a bunch of times. So I'm having to learn that code switch or having to learn like that time and place to where, all right, I need to really lock in so that I can get my points across too and not kind of just be pushed to the side. Basketball helped a lot. Being recruited out of high school, I had a lot of Division I offers. I want to say between 25 and 30. Some Power Five schools, a lot of mid-major, high-major D1s, and me personally, I was committed to Virginia Tech. Some of the news even got wind of it, and I was about to commit on the news when my parents invited the staff to our living room, and Coach Buzz and my parents told me that I was going to Harvard. I had no choice. So looking back on it, I was angry. My first year at Harvard, I was filled with rage. I was acting out, and I was just mad that I couldn't do the one thing that I told my parents I wanted to do, and that was to get a free education because y'all have done enough. I want to be able to say, hey, we getting this for free and we can take advantage of it. But what they saw was something bigger than what my adolescent mind could comprehend. And that was 10, 15, 20 years from now, and after you get that degree, do you know how much further ahead you could be with that group of resources and that community that you'll be a part of? And looking back on it, man, that was one of the best decisions they ever took from me. I don't regret none of it, because having that 2-parent household and being able to kind of get put in check from both angles, you're getting that love and affection from mom and pop, but then pop is raising you to, hey, this is the type of hunger you got to have to break through these certain walls and to walk in these certain rooms. This is the type of things you're going to face. Here, come with me to go see a client real quick. You see this environment? They hungry for your spot. They hungry for an opportunity that we helped give you. We helped you earn. Seeing that at a young age will help shape a kid to see, man, it's kids out here that's way hungrier than you right now. You better take advantage of every little thing that you get, because if it get taken away, who knows what you'll be left to have to do or left to have to face. And I feel like a lot of the youth is missing that right now from having a single parent household, because you don't get both sides of that love that I think a kid really needs to make a mistake, be corrected, and then be pointed to the right direction, not told that you're wrong or you're bad or what you doing. Not that. All that is part of the disciplinary action. I get it. But having those 2 parents, when they can work together to aim you in the right direction after you do wrong or make a mistake, that's probably the most important part that I've taken from my childhood. And getting to Harvard is kind of like, my parents should pat themselves on the back. I'm pretty sure they do, because that's not a light feat, especially, coming out of basketball culture. I wasn't thinking about a Harvard. I didn't know what a Harvard was until I was 16 years old. And the movie How High. That's the first times I heard about it, when they came to my game, and I seen that movie a whole bunch of times. But other than that, yeah, man, my parents, they opened my mind up at a young age to where now I'm the president of a nonprofit. We specialize in a lot of mental health based programs. We do firearm violence and intervention programs in Richmond. We work with the homeless in Richmond. We're working with Atlanta to, kind of get in and hopefully take over their homeless programs, or at least give them the infrastructure that we know worked for us in the past and what we're doing now here in Richmond. So, I mean, and there's a lot that I do, but that's like the most important part that I can say stemmed from me getting to Harvard, getting that psychology degree, and then going on to get my master's and then coming back here.
Yeah, that's amazing to hear. I know my wife and I have a lot of conversations about, are we raising our kids the right way? And I don't know about you, Josh, but like we question ourselves a lot because we didn't see it. Like my wife comes from a 2-parent household, but it was not as positive as we would like, right? And not saying that her parents were bad, but they didn't know what they were doing either. So now when we are trying to discipline our kids, or we're trying to redirect them and give them encouragement, it's like, are we being too soft? Are we being too hard? Am I being too stern? Do I need to lighten up? But I come from a place where, like, I got to make because I have 3 boys. I got to make my boys tough. Like, I want them not to be hard. I want them to be high emotionally connected to people and understand what to do and what not to do. But I don't want them to be soft to a point where they shut down when things get hard. So I battle with that myself. And hearing you speak about your parents, it just gives me more confidence in what I'm doing, because I do try to redirect and teach and not just say, no, it's because of what I said, because that's what I heard growing up. Like, no, you do what I told you to do. And like, why? Don't ask me why, boy. And, like stuff like that, Donnie laughing because he know that's how it is. And, but yeah, it just feels good to hear you say that and see where you went, because I have 3 boys, and it just touched me in a different way listening to you talk about your parents like that. And I'll let one of the other guys talk about their experiences as well. Josh laughing, he got a joke.
That touched me in another way. It's crazy, bro. Anyway, hey man, I'm so proud of this guy right here, dog. Salute to you. But everybody path is different. I know for a fact if I would have had my father, I'm not going to Harvard anyway. So you don't need to even. We ain't gonna get on this podcast and act like if my dad was here, I'm lit. Like, no, my dad's here. He just here. Sometimes we as black men, we have to be at peace with knowing that, dog, your dad might have been in the house, but he came with a lot of negativity along with his presence. So sometimes I'm not necessarily saying I would have been better off, but I know my mother didn't have him in the household for a reason, if that makes sense. My mom, she was one of those down black women. I'll be honest, in hindsight, a little too down. My mom, not because my mother, it's like, okay, my father, you can't be in your kid's life, but I'm not going to put you on child support. I'm not going to put you in any situation that's going to possibly take away your freedom because my mother know what you're struggling with. Some black women, they got such a good heart, they don't hold people accountable. So I feel like my mother was in that what makes her an amazing person also makes them flawed at the same time, if that makes sense. So, just seeing what you've been able to accomplish, that's absolutely amazing. But I still can be at peace with what I've been able to accomplish because I know like everybody path is different, man. So that's just cool. I just want to give you your flowers. I know you younger than me, but you gotta give it to him when you see him, bro. That's impressive, man. We need to celebrate college graduation the way we celebrate niggas getting out of prison. We really don't celebrate y'all the way we should.
I mean, I was raised by both groups at the same time. So like my dad is my mom too, and I'm gonna get on her, but specifically my dad, my father, he's an interesting character. He was playing alchemy with my life since I came out the womb. I can tell. And I say that because at an age as young as like 8 or 9, I started recognizing patterns of how he was raising me. And like that's not normal for a kid to pick up on it, and then go along with it. Like after the times I got in trouble in elementary school for getting my work done too early and just being bored and trying to be an entrepreneur or whatever I was trying to do, I don't know. I started to realize he ain't told me anything wrong yet. Like at a young age, I'm like, even when I'm angry at I'm being disciplined right now, go back to my room and process it. He hasn't told me anything wrong. And I think at a young age, whether you have one parent or two parents, it makes it a lot easier when the kid can understand that. And not every kid will get it that fast. But I think me understanding that allowed my parents to really say, all right, the behavior thing is out the way. Now let's start to craft how his mind works and how he processes his emotions and stuff. So like for me, I was very shy until I got to like middle school. So and my dad used to joke on me and stuff like, boy, you ain't gonna never have no girlfriend, or you ain't gonna have too many friends because you don't talk enough, or you too scared. You walking with your hands, to your side. You like a robot. You ain't have no swag. So I used to take all that and compartmentalize. I'm like, I don't need none of that. And I just wouldn't say nothing. I'd just be me. But as I started to get into like, oh, I like music. I like the arts. I like basketball too, but I love entertainment. I started to find myself in music. And that kind of helped my personality show. And after that, I just became overly extroverted in a lot of areas. And people started to catch on. So people my dad would bring around, for instance, one of them, Paul Taylor, he works a program here in Richmond. It's called RVA League for Safer Streets. He went to prison for 20 plus years for crimes that he didn't do. But when he got out, he came and saw me in my second year of Harvard and told me, listen, when you finish all this, you got a higher calling. You understand what it feels like to be around people like me and be comfortable and have something positive to say and critique and coach. But you also have peers that come from a totally different place and you can be in that same room. He's like, you're a bridge. You're a bridge that in culture, not a lot of black people get privileged to have that job. You might not be the star in every room, but you're the bridge that can take what someone else says in that corner and deliver that message in a different way to someone behind you that might not comprehend it. And when I came home from Harvard, that was like one of my goals. I really wanted to key in on that because it was going to help me do what I'm doing now. And that's run the nonprofit and help with the mental health agency. Because being that bridge in the black community, you're going to get a lot of people from single parent households, people who don't go to college. I always tell them, like, bro, you didn't go to college. You went to college. I don't care about that part of your story. Where do you want to go now? And how are you going to utilize some of the tools around you? If you don't have enough around you, let's see how we can go out and find some of these free resources out here, or people willing to help as well. Like, some of my biggest inspirations are my father. He came from a single parent household. My uncle as well. A lot of their friends, a lot of my mentors over the years on my way to Harvard and in Harvard, a lot of them come from single parent households. And I think having conversations with them, along with my parents raising me, is what helped me get to where I'm at. So yes, I completed college, but it took a village to get me. It took a village of a bunch of single parent household risen adults from the 80s, the 70s, the 90s to say, I'm trying to break that chain. I want to break that culture and do something. And they instilled all of that aspiration into me, a shy kid. And that confidence behind me is what allowed me to start blossoming and turning into this. So I'm not even going to say it's fully the two-parent household. It's the village that knows both sides that allowed me to, end up as the finishing product and still being worked on. Like, I like you said, I'm young and there's a lot of other things I want to do, but I'm really deep into this space, this nonprofit space that I'm in right now, because I'm seeing the little impact it's having now. And I want to see how big I can take it. Just like we got Walmarts and I want a nonprofit that big because I see the impact a small group can do. And I think what y'all are doing, entertainment, what I'm doing, all that stuff, it goes hand in hand in the Black culture. Those are a lot of the most important pillars in Black culture. And we are the culture. We establish a lot of trends. When we decide to go left and everybody else over there chilling, people start trickling over and trying to see what we got going on. And I pick up on that. And I believe that if we come together as one big village and we start building off everybody's passions and aspirations, man, we're going to be unstoppable. It's only a matter of time.
And I love that, for real, that you said that. And speaking, I guess, to like the community day we got coming up in July, which, Mario is going to be a speaker. It's like, that was a concept about, what it was like if all of us was on the same page. It was this story like in the Bible we're talking about, like the Tower of Babel. They all spoke the same language. And, you think about it, like sometimes just not understanding one another is the reason why people don't get along. So if we can speak the same language, we can do so much, amazing things. So the concept about, coming together unified, it's so much work to do. It's so much, it's opportunities there for everybody. It's just like, I think to do it on a bigger level, man. Like, good is the enemy of great, man. And I think oftentimes we get caught up in just being good. But like, man, I want to be great and then be elite and constantly seek to take it to the next level. So I love that.
And I think mentorship is more than just kids too. Like, it's a lot of parents out here, adults that don't know what they're doing either, and they're trying to figure it out on the fly. And I can speak to that because I was one of those adults. Like, I grew up not like Mario, but I played basketball, and I said, I'm going to the league. I had those mid-major looks, those mid-major D1s, and I come from a very, very, very small town, super small. You blink, you'll miss it. One stoplight. But I didn't know what I was doing, especially when I became a parent at 21. I was like, man. So, I'm navigating through life. I was sleeping on Josh's couch at one time. And this was after I had thought I made it, but I didn't have anything. So when I went to Afghanistan, after I had failed at basketball, I felt like I failed at being a parent. I had no money. That's why I joined the military. I had like 2 months of savings, and that was going to run out because I had just got fired. So I was like, man, what am I going to do? I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell the girl I was dating at the time. I didn't tell anybody. I just went and signed up for the Navy. That's the only thing I had. I didn't have anyone to guide me. And I'm an adult at this time. I'm 21, about to turn 22. Don't know what I'm about to do. Don't have no mentor. Don't have no guidance. So I went to the Navy. Then I came home, back and forth. And then my last deployment, I came home, and I ended up sleeping on Josh's couch because I didn't have any clothes. I couldn't fit my clothes because I got too big in Afghanistan, just lifting weights. And I was like, man, Josh, man, he was like, man, you can sleep on my couch anytime. And when I say his apartment was small, it was small. So it was just his room and a couch. And I ended up figuring it out And I got
Hey,
into
yo, hey, tell your story. Don't drag me through the mud, bro. Just tell your story, bro. Go ahead.
but you got a whole house now. I was
Slide
on
me
your
an
couch.
eel, right? You see, y'all see that? Yeah. This
But
nigga
yeah,
shit was a closet. Like, nah, tell your story, man.
but yeah, so I was on his couch and then I had it figured out. But once I figured it out, I would always go to Josh and we just brainstorming. Like, can we do this? Can we do that? Can we do this? Let's come together, do this. Let's come together, do that. And people that we try to reach out to that we grew up with, they won't hear it. You know, because people view you only as you were, not as you who you are in this time that you live in right now. So I think adults need mentors, but egos run high, pride run high. I don't need help from you. You come from the same place I come from. But you know, everybody needs a helping hand. I just wanted to say that because we're talking about kids and getting them to where they need to go to, but adults, they need the same thing, but are scared to ask for the help or don't know where to find it.
Okay, well, on a mental health side of it, I want to pick your brain about two things too, because I feel like a lot of the reasons why some of our kids don't excel, but is because sometimes the parents can't recognize the gift within the child. So, you know, I think you said, were your mom and your parents, were either one of them successful, either one of them go to college?
Yeah, so they both went to St. Paul's College. I don't think it exists anymore. It went bankrupt, but yeah, they went
I know
to
you're talking
St.
about,
Paul.
yeah.
Yeah.
I dated a chick who went to St. Paul, but
Okay.
yeah, I'm old, bro. But I feel like that plays such a huge role because, like, how many times have we heard stories about, like, the kid, like you said, they wrote you off as being disruptive, but in reality you were just finishing the work that you needed to be challenged more. We hear that story so much in the Black community about kids being labeled disruptive or ADHD, and the real true reason is that they're just not being challenged enough. So as far as the mental health space, like, what steps could we take as far as mentoring parents, or, and, you know, coming up with some type of programs that maybe could help parents recognize gifts in their child a little faster? Or do you have any, like, tidbits or tools that you would use or your dad used for you to just, like, okay, my son isn't bad, he's just not being challenged?
Sure, I can. I know I'm not licensed. My people in my family, they're licensed, but I can give you what my parents at least did with me because it worked, and they used that. They ran an AAU organization, River City Rain. They helped run that for a few years and fund it, and they just raised those kids or helped raise them how they raised me. And I think a lot of kids can benefit from having an outlet and the freedom to choose that outlet, but also exercise their passions. I think a lot of times kids can get written off because they're bored, they're a little too intelligent, and they're picking up so fast on what they have all the other kids are doing. They're like, all right, I'm done. Like, you ain't got nothing else for me. I'm finna go pick with little Jimbo over here, or
Sure.
getting away with what they doing. So getting kids started into something early, because my dad, he started with me with basketball. They did a bunch of different sports, and it wasn't until I got to that music part where my brain just, it made a shift. It was something about music, school, music, and math, music, and like all that stuff. Just it clicked with me, and I think music is something that moves a lot of people in general. So for me, that was the passion that started to set me apart and get me to a different place and get me to where I am today. For a lot of the other youth, there's a bunch of things kids could be trying nowadays. All the technology we have access to, or that schools have access to, kids could be doing STEM projects. They could be learning to code. Kids could be learning trades. Something to challenge them, not just mentally but physically. Something that you get from sports naturally. You get that coaching aspect. You get that. Oh, I've been working so hard. Oh, that kid's got a high motor, or this kid isn't working hard enough. Maybe they need to be thrown into a different situation, or whatever the case may be. As far as the parents go, we got to remember, like, so I'm in my 20s. So my parents are coming out of the 80s, the 70s, being brung up in those times. Their upbringing was way different. They didn't have as much access to the things that, I have, or that your kids will have access to. So they're only coming from a place that they've been, and they're trying to learn on the fly like you are. And they need mentorship, But I think also these programs that are out here working with the kids, they need to be working with the whole family and the environment, because you can give these kids all these cool workshops and fun things to do, but guess where they got to go lay their head at for the rest of the week, for the rest of the month? And you're leaving it up to them to fend for themselves and utilize what you're teaching them in that environment. That's the stimuli to the catalyst for a lot of their problems, or a lot of the mental health issues that they're going through, or the depression, or the lack of confidence. So when you have these programs, and I've come up, being around my dad, seeing different programs, how they operate, there's some really good ones in other states where they interacting with the whole family. Like the participation, yes, the kids have volunteered to be in the program, but if your kid volunteered to be in the program, mom, dad, auntie, grandma, you in the program too, because I need your help. The organization needs your help to keep the kids on the right path. We can give them the tidbits and the skills and some more structure outside that environment and that exposure. We can give them that. But when it comes to them going to lay their head down at night, guess what they reintroduced to? That same anxiety, animosity, the grief, whatever it is that they're coming from, whether it's a single parent household, whether they're in a household with a guardian that's not even really their real parent. All these things play factors when it comes to, a youth's upbringing. And a lot of the programs that are being offered now are starting to interact with families and parents heavier now, because they see if the parents and us are on the same board, when the kid at least gets back to their home or their living quarters, we can keep some type of continuity. Now, when they go outside, that's a new battle. That's something we got to address next. But as a village, I'm starting to see a trend of us coming together and holding each other accountable. So now your kid from down the street, he can walk down the street and get corrected by a father figure that may not be his father, maybe his coach, maybe a principal, a teacher. I think people are getting recognized for those initiatives that have been happening. I think with technology, though, we're just seeing more of it now. So more people are jumping on the trend. Like, mental health is a trending topic, but it's always been a thing. With whether it's been with the parents or the youth, mental health has been the reasoning for a lot of things that go on in the Black community, whether it's violence, whether it's a choice of career path. Your mental health and your mental state and your security, confidence of where you are right now and where you're trying to get to, or where you're coming from, and you dealing with that got to be addressed first. And a lot of the stuff the kids are going through is getting passed down from the parents, because that's one thing my dad would preach to me of, I'm not going to let you go through what I went through. And as a kid, you don't really get it. Like, he just talking. But as you get older, you see, you start to have those deep conversations with your parents, like, dang, my parents went through some stuff. And once you can recognize that as a kid, it's up to you to help your parents now. They've been helping you their whole life. Y'all can start learning from each other, because I know a lot of stuff about this day and age that my parents are learning on the fly, and I'm very familiar with, just like they know a lot of things that I need to know as I get older and progress through life. So there comes a time where I get everybody want to be independent. 18, I want to move out, have my own life. You need to be having an even stronger bond with your parents. And I think, to attribute to what you were saying earlier about your upbringing, your mom didn't have your dad around for a reason. That's a lot of people, and that's understandable. She was doing what's best for her baby. And at the same time, as you got older, I'm pretty sure you had an unconditional love for your mom. So now it's your turn. You want to protect her. You want to help her because she's done all this for you. 100%. That's how I feel. At the same time, though, logically speaking, you don't owe your parent anything. You didn't ask to be here. So for a kid to want to do that, that's a pretty big step in a healthy direction. But that kid has to be in an environment that allows them to feel that confident in their dreams and aspirations to then go back and help their parents. And a lot of kids lack that, or have to wait so long to find it. And that can really hit on your mental health in a world of social media where we all looking, you can swipe up and down for 15 minutes and see somebody's life that's better than yours in your eyes, or at least what they showing.
Oh, buddy. Here you go, Dominican again. Yeah, relax, bro. Relax. You 100% right that the parents need to be, it should be a group effort with counseling. I believe that 100%. I be watching 600 Pound Life, bro, and I be watching it, and then I look in the background, I be like, that's why you fat. That's why they fat. Like, sometimes it ain't them, right? Sometimes it ain't them. You be like, your homie is making 16 Pop-Tarts and waffles, so she can't even move, bro.
Bro,
she can't move.
Like, can I get one?
Yeah, She got the skillet beside the bed. If you unplug the skillet beside the bed, she gonna leave at least 50 is coming off. I'll be like, sometimes people be enablers, bro. That's an analogy, but you know what I mean. Sometimes your people around you really the reason why you can't seem to get on your feet. That's a fact.
Do you think that economics plays a part in a parent damaging their child mental health, their economic situation?
Money is one of the biggest factors of stress in our world. You got to think as parents, like as a kid, I'm noticing this too. And I'm asking my mom, what's this for? What's that for? You see bills come in the house and then you see your parents' mood change. We could have been in jokey joke mode, playing the game. But once that bill hit the mind, you can count. A kid will start to recognize when the parent's stressed about the money. I think those socioeconomic divides, that division in any city, any state, any culture, you got wealthy black folks, you got people who barely making ends meet. As far as other races and stuff, that money can play a big effect in how confident you move, how willing you are to take a risk because you can afford a loss. It's a lot of people that they're living paycheck to paycheck or barely making ends meet because they can't go take that risk because they're not confident that they can bounce back from the loss. Because you're going to take these losses when you enter in, uncharted territory. Lucky for me, boy, I watched my parents take some big losses, big risks, but even bigger losses, setbacks. This mental health company is not the first one they attempted to start. I watched them the first 3 to 5 years start one and then it fall. Like I got to watch it fall. I seen the effects of it on their relationship with me and my little sister, and then my now adopted brother. And all that taught me a lesson. And it was, if there's a way I can get out there and help my parents economically, boy, I want to do it. That alone right there will set a kid back. Because now I'm trying to do stuff to help with the money part. I'm not getting to experiment. I'm not getting to be a kid. And luckily, I didn't have to do that. But a lot of my friends had to go out there and go get some money. However you had to do it. And there was no one telling you to do it all the time. But you so close to your parents, you feel like you got to be the protector now because you see them at a low point. They stressed out. And you like, I'm strong. A kid, when they hit puberty, they start to get a little umph in them like, I can do whatever. That's what they're going to go out there and do. And fast forward to the adult life. These low socioeconomic areas in these inner cities are some of the highest violent, statistically, they have the highest violence just on paper. And that makes sense when you're in those environments. And you can see that a lot of that stems from mental health, whether it's from the money, whether it's from the upbringing, which no one will ever know unless you get a chance to work with the parents. And they're telling you, for instance, without giving details, there was one parent, I seen her today. I was along for a ride along with my mom. And when she seen us, her face lit up. But then the smile went away because she just felt like she had to dump everything she'd been holding in onto us. Because that's what we there to do. We want to hear so we can see, are there resources we can link you with? Or is there something we can do? Whether it's out of pocket or is there something the city got going on that can help? And seeing her face go like that and her kids behind her and just the whole mood shift, I'm like, they just felt that. Her sons, they just graduated and they felt that. Her daughter's coming up. She asking, I know how you can help me. I want to learn. I want to get a job. I want to get my license so that I can go drive to a job. She didn't say, I want to grow up and be this, and that. She said, I want to go get a job to help mom. That hit me different because I never had to say that to my parents. There's times where, I want to help. You want to help and stuff. But I'm like, when I grow up, I want to go to NBA or I want to go perform in front of 10,000, 50,000 people. I got dreams like that. Their dreams are going to get a job. And then they tell me the type of job. I'm like, you can do bigger stuff than that. That's cool to start there, but you can do anything. They're like, nah, I just want to do this so I can help my mom. Man, them the real heroes. Them kids, the real heroes. The parents and the kids need each other, but that family needs a village around them of people that come from all types of backgrounds, college or not, double parent household or not, a lot of money, a little bit of money. It's just that village and that cohesiveness that I think we're finally getting to in culture, period. Like in the world, stuff is getting so hard for everybody that people are finally losing those egos. They still there, but they slowly dwindling away because people are talking more. We got more stuff like this, more dialogue. more awareness, I see the growth, and it's exponential. And I think having you guys talk to someone like me who's younger, I'm learning from y'all just by being on this, because y'all's story, I know I'm gonna benefit from that a lot, because y'all done a lot more things than I've done, and y'all have made mistakes, y'all have experienced stuff that, as we get through the questions, I'm logging that in here. I'm like a computer. That's how I was raised. When I see something that I'm like, that's gonna be valuable later on, when I get, all the kids that I want to have, when I have the family I want to have, when I get the business that I really want to have. The stuff y'all telling me today, I'm taking that with me. That's something I gotta steal from you. But that's what a lot of the youth should be doing. We should be able to have this dialogue with a father figure. If we don't have a father, having someone like y'all that's willing to talk to a me or talk to a younger me, taking time out of y'all day to share how y'all feel and what y'all have experienced and seen, and then ask me how I feel about it. I'm learning just by answering these questions that y'all giving.
Let's
Hey,
talk
man.
about it a little more, Mario. Hold on, Josh. I got a question for him, because I know you say you have an adopted brother, and I know we talked a little bit about it before we went live. So you said how you felt when that happened, or when it came into the house, like you're sharing your parents. So just tell everyone how you felt, and like where you guys are now with your relationship.
So my brother, Jocko Wiley, we call him Pinky. We were in the 4th grade, and he had just came down from Jersey with his family. So we had got close through a mutual friend in the neighborhood, and we both hooped. We both were pretty decent, because the friend was like, "Yo, y'all gotta go play 1-on-1." So when I went over to his house and I met him, and we started talking and stuff, and we ain't really, just kids meeting up. Well, fast forward, this was during the summertime. We meet again, and we about to go back to school, and I'm like, yeah, my birthday coming up. We finna go do this. He like, yeah, my birthday coming up too. And I was like, what's your birthday? He like, September 9th, 1998. I'm like, dang, that's my birthday too. And he was like, for real? And I went back home and told my dad, and he was like, where he at? I need to meet him. He was trying to make a joke about it, trying to be like, I gotta make sure you ain't got a twin brother out here, because I was doing my thing back. And I was like, all right. So we went to his house, and once we got introduced and our parents got introduced, my mom met his mom met my mom and dad. And then ever since then, we were locked in. So it came a time where it ended up being a conversation, I think, between his family and my family, where they really believed in him. Like, they were raising a lot of older. He was one of the younger ones. So me and him had got so close. My dad was like, I got him. That's all. He just said, I got him. I didn't know what that meant. I'm like, I hadn't heard him say it a bunch of times, but Pinky went on to live with me throughout middle school, high school. He'd go back and forth to his people's house, but in high school, that's when it really mattered, because we were going to LC Bird. So we were brothers. Adopted or not, blood couldn't make us any closer. What I got, my dad made sure he got. And he made it an effort to show me that, hey, y'all are equal. Whether you my real son and he not my real son, or y'all was twins, y'all equal. Saying that to a kid who understands that, yo, this ain't my real brother, that'll make you feel some type of way, like, why I gotta share my parents? I already got siblings I had to share y'all with. But that's the selfishness in the kid. And it's okay for a kid to be like that. That's adolescence. But as I got older, man, Pinky became my best friend. When I go out, he go out. We out together. We hooping together. We traveling to AAU, going to Las Vegas, Cali, different AAU teams together. I got somebody to share these memories with, these core memories that I'll never forget, but the bond that it built, because now his family, my family, and all my family, I had a lot more here in Virginia, that's his family now. So guess what? You take a kid from a household completely opposite from one who has everything, you could say, the village behind them and all, and you give that village and share that village with this kid. Now they both grow up, they go to college. He the first in his family with a degree and a master's. We ended up going to Hampton University and getting our masters together. So that was like a coming home, a full circle moment for us. And like I said, my dad was playing alchemy from a young age. When he seen that, I know his eyes lit up, because he said, I got a chance to see if how I'm raising my son is really beneficial for a kid, and not just my kid. Because Pinky got the same opportunities I got, the same access, the same economic access that I got in that same village. And he grew up to be a phenomenal young man and boss. Like, When I tell that story to people, I can't even give all the details of the stuff that he went through and we went through and our families went through making this thing work. Like we had to make it work because we too far in, and you can't just tell a kid, hey, you gotta go. This stuff getting expensive. Now we family now. We all family now, both households. So that right there showed me that when they say it take a village because not only did they get a success story out of me coming from where they came from, they helped another family create a first. You know, those generational firsts, that first to get a college, that first to become a CEO, that first to become a master's graduate, that first to go on and be on TV, whatever the first is in your family. He that sacrificial lamb that took a lot mentally, emotionally as a kid. And he was way more emotionally intact than I was. And that's the part I wanted to make sure I mentioned. He came from a background that was less stable, and he had a better handle on his emotions than I did coming from my household. It wasn't until we got together and we could both see both sides to where he learned to be more vulnerable. I learned to be way tougher. Now we got the best of both worlds within each other. When we go out on our own and we do finally move off and create our own families, we always gonna come back to home, but we can go fend for ourselves, and our parents know that, hey, them boys gonna be successful. We did a good job. The village did a good job. And I got a best friend for life out of that. We probably wouldn't be as close if we didn't live together. Our whole adolescence, our whole teenage years. And we did a lot of cool things, man. A lot of accolades, a lot of stuff together on the court. He taught me a lot. He was way more mature than me. I was a goofball. Once I really got outside and started figuring out who I was goofy, just a goofy nerd, and I had a little swag. But he was a grown man since like 11 or 12 because he had to be. I learned a lot from him. And now that we're older, roles haven't reversed. It's just more like my resources are yours now. You did a lot for me, being able to allow me to go to certain places and feel comfortable and interact comfortably. Now let me show you what I've been working on this side, and let me get that to you. Just like I offer it to all my friends. I've been able to conjure really good resources and great networks off this Harvard degree. That's what I can say. That's the biggest thing. The school's cool. The education was great, but you can go to any college. You can go to any apprenticeship and get education on what you want to do. It's that community you become a part of. That's what I have access to now, and that's what I'm eager to share with Richmond, Virginia, Newport News, Virginia, Atlanta, Georgia, all the places that helped raise me along the way. So that's my little tidbit.
Man, I want to throw it in there. I know Pinky, one of the coolest kids, man. Like, you're a grown man now, so like definitely A1 for real.
Josh, you gonna say something?
Yeah, sorry, man. My job messaging me while I'm trying to listen at the same time. Hey, so your mother is a psychologist, or your dad?
My dad is just the owner of the mental health agency. My mom is a LPC, so licensed professional counselor.
Oh wow, man!
And
so
my girlfriend is also a licensed professional counselor. So it's in the family now.
That's what I wanted to talk about right there. It's like your mother, like, does she interview the shorties? Like when they came, because I'm like, your mother, first of all, she already got intuition because she a woman.
Yes, she
a woman. So I'm like, she a woman and she got a degree. Like, what did she ask them? Like, do she like look in their eyes and be like, oh yeah, your father ain't around, is he? Because do she just know? But like looking at them, be like,
she got that black mom intuition mixed with the education, so she don't got.
That's what I'm saying.
She give me a look, and I don't know if. Hey, Sean, let's just go ahead and go to the movies. We're not gonna go back to my house. My mom.
So you don't really bring the stragglers home. You a slick boy.
Like, you bring them home to be vetted. I bring them there to be vetted. When I was in high school, and I was like looking at my mom, and she'll give me that look, or she won't have a long conversation. It'll be, hey, how you doing? Short and sweet. Let me go take care of the baby. Let me go cook. I'm like, okay, she ain't really banging with her. Yeah. My mother used to do the same thing. I remember shorty named Erica left a message on my answering machine, bro. I was in middle school. My mother was like, yo, she not it. Just off her tone. I know my mom might be older than your mom. My mom used to always say they fast. That's her thing. Yo, she too fast. That's what mom used to say too.
Yeah. I said that just gotta be amazing. I think it's a blessing too, because sometimes, you know, when we boys, we ain't always got our head looking for our wife. You know what I mean? So having your mother kind of be like, that intuition. When you get older, be like, my mom was never wrong, bro. My mom 10 for 10.
Same.
10 for 10, my boy.
Undefeated.
I ain't never. No, mom, you was wrong about Shorty. No, Shorty was out there. You know what I mean? I just found out later on, you know, because women know who the hoes are. You know, whether they like to admit it or not, they know. You know, it might be it's their friend, and that's her sister or her cousin, so she won't say it. But women know who the hoes are. The same way men know who men ain't about a daggone thing. But I just wanted to ask you that because I know that had to be. Do you feel like the girlfriend you with now? You feel like she the one?
My parents like her more than they like me. They love her
because
more.
She got the same job. She got the same job.
It might be that though. Then I think about it because she come from that same pedigree my dad come from. The woman I'm with now, and that's the mother of my kid. We got a 3-year-old that we had.
Bless him. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. But she remind me a lot of my father. That's weird to say now that I'm saying it to some.
Nah. That makes sense because you know they say women marry their father. I think same way with men in a way. You know we. Now, we're not saying you marry your father, but you marry somebody who got the characteristics of your parent in one way or another, man.
Yeah. She a lot like both of my parents, though. Like, she got that loving, caring side that, like, my mom will go run through a truck. My mom ain't no big lady. She'll go run through a truck for her kids or the people she loved. And then she got that grit that my dad got because she grew up in the same environment he grew up in, fending for herself at a young age. And she often counsels me now in the house when, shoot, I'm still young. I'll crash out in the house. I won't do it out in public, but I'll crash out in the house. I'll spaz out man. When I'm going through stuff for my emotions. Because you got to realize at that point where I started sharing my parents, I started compartmentalizing a lot of stuff that I'm realizing now is coming out. A lot of emotions I would just suppress because I wanted my dad to know, no, I'm the tougher one. It's kind of like when you get 2 bulldogs or pit bulls from different litters or the same litter. As they get older, that's competition. So that's all honestly what made us great at basketball. That competition of he like, nah, I'm gonna be better than Spike. And then I turn around, nah, y'all ain't catching me. I'm up there now. So that constant competition also helped me compartmentalize a lot of stuff that I'm dealing with now. And having the lady that I'm with now, she getting that out of you. She's like, hey boy, something wrong with you. This is what it is. And I'm like, dang, that's exactly what it was.
That's scary,
like talking
bro.
to my mom. It's scary. I can't
that's
even be mad. Every conversation end with a smile. Because I'm like, you just solved my problem.
Dog, my wife can see through me, bro. If she can see through me, dog, I'm not shit, bro. She can see through me, dog. That's so scary, bro. That's terrifying, man. Hey, one thing I'm gonna let you know as a married man, bro, you can only threaten suicide once. So save it. Save that joke till you really in trouble. Like, don't be, bro. You can only shoot that gun in the air and drop the phone one time, my boy. So don't. Once she realized you bluffing, she ain't gonna never buy it again.
She ain't gonna buy
I'm saving mine. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna save mine for if I do, but I'm saving my baby. I'm gonna kill myself. You won't go back.
I got my daughter. Her and my daughter team up on me, man. I ain't leaving them. They'll hold
I
me
love
out.
it.
They'll tie me up, throw me in the basement.
I love it, man. You say your daughter's 3?
She's 3 going on 30.
How do you feel like your daughter changed you as a man? I don't got no girls, man.
She showed me how to show love on the outside. Like that's one thing I struggled with growing up was like showing emotions on the outside. And I think that come from me just being like, nah, I gotta be tough, bro. My parents ain't gonna choose another kid over me. Just coming from a kid's mind. That's how you think. So emotions, I didn't want to show those. Funerals, I ain't going there to cry. We going there to just look. And I'm stern. Like, even if I want to cry, like little stuff like that, I would make myself do to a point where as I got older, my relationship with women was no emotions. It was me having fun. So when I met her and I had my daughter, I cried a little bit when I saw my daughter.
Absolutely.
And then I let myself cry. So I cried a little bit, then I started to, but then I let myself cry. So then that showed me, dang, she just broke that. She just broke that thing that I was doing for all these years on purpose. And I'm happy that she did it. And ever since then, I learned how to love better. Though. It's very
that's so healthy.
Yeah. But
for sure.
Everything else started pouring out after that. And kudos to my lady because she deal with a lot because I'm crazy. You know, I'm artistic. I'm hyperactive, ADHD, whatever they want to call all that. I show that around the house. My daughter's the same way. That's our relationship. And I know sometimes she be wanting to get in her car and just go drive back up to New York and get away from us for like a month or something. She can. I mean, that's her, but she do a lot. She keep the household together. It remind me a lot of my mother. How she that.
having your soon to be wife, hopefully, as your safe space, man, that allows you to go out into the world and have a different approach. Like
Yeah,
I
go
can
out
be
to
the
the world.
most, I can be
Yeah.
cold and calculating in my day to day because I know my safe space. If I'm emotional or had a bad day, I know I can pour it into, when I spend that time with my wife, not
Yeah.
put it on her as a burden, but discuss it as a couple. So I think that's so important. And I feel like, and that's why I speak so highly of marriage, man, because I feel like a lot of men don't really talk about the good side of it. Because most social media is all about finding what happened when you found the wrong person. But nobody ever talks about the relationship dynamic when you have a healthy relationship. And that, I feel like it changed me. I feel like I'm 100% a better man because of being able to have that safe space at home that I had.
Man, I agree 100%. And you make more money. You make more money when you got a good wife.
For sure.
Yeah, we talked about that on another show.
Yeah, I see it now. I see why my dad was able to go out and work as hard as he did, knowing my mom taking care of the crib, but she also working too at the same time. So she's doing double jobs.
Love it.
And taking care of the kids and still pursuing her passion. She was doing hair at the time. I told her I wish she was doing hair now. We really be out of here. 600 for a sew-in. Oh, you was doing those like that. I'm planning on getting married very soon, and we talk about that all the time. We got a really open like dialogue between the two of us.
I love that,
and we both come from such different backgrounds, but I think I was blessed to just have parents who raised me in both lights, so I can, like I said, be that bridge to where I found someone who comes from this background. Oh, I know a little bit about it, but tell me more about your version of it. So like that just built our bond up stronger and stronger.
That's fire, man. That's fire. You gotta love podcasts, bro. What you talking about, Don? What you talking?
Donnie, what you got to say about marriage? I know is bringing in with that because I know we talked about it before. Like your money increase once you get married, but it's a reason why. And people try to say after we had that conversation that, oh, of course, because you have more people to take care of. No, that's not the reason. But I let Donnie talk about from a biblical standpoint why you grow when you get married.
Donnie said, "No, I'm not."
Donnie said, "No, I ain't doing it."
Not talk about it from a biblical standpoint.
Donnie, can you hear us?
A little bit. I don't know. But I do feel like chasing hoes is expensive. I don't know. That's not biblical, but that is a fact.
Very expensive.
They are very, very expensive. And we don't never talk about like your woman, Mario. Like it's women who want to get married to be a team. I know social media is full of these women who everybody thinks she gonna marry and take your money, or she only dealing with dudes who making this much. It's plenty of women who literally just want somebody to build something with, bro. But we don't, those women don't get spotlighted because VH1 don't like good women. You gotta be good for TV. Like, the good women they born. Yeah, me too. Me too. I found my woman in the country. Where's she from? Where your girl from?
She from New York. Binghamton, New York.
Wow.
Well, Harlem, New York, and then Binghamton, New York. But she played basketball too, so I think that helped our relationship. We had that thing to bond over, but we understand what it feel like to be a team, whether you the star player or not.
I want to be honest with me, bro. Like what? Like a New York chick. Like what was your line? What was your pickup line for something like that? Like, cause I was like, my chick was like, she from the South, so I could say some old.
Yeah. I can tell you this. She said "huh" a lot when I first started talking, just because when I get comfortable, the South really come out and the twang come out. But I don't even know if I had a line. I think we just kind of both were in that point. We were both in our grad program. So we the oldest on the teams. And we're not going to hang out with no 18, 17-year-olds. They trying to do stuff we already did. That's played out. So I think God really put us in a place where we would find each other. Because I wasn't going to Hampton. We met at Hampton. I was looking to go to another, high major school, give basketball that second try. I only did 3 years at Harvard, and I graduated, and so I didn't get to play my fourth year. I just got the degree because if I would have took a break, I wasn't gonna finish. I wasn't gonna finish.
I feel you for sure.
So after that, I had 2 more years, and I decided I was like, let's try to go West Coast. Let's go live a rock star life, get paid to play a little bit, do something. And my dad was like, nope, now you got to go HBCU. I'm like, bro, you already chose the first time. Let me pick this one. He like,
you about to have a
no.
white wife. You'll come back with a white wife. You're with the West Coast. I promise you.
Yeah, that what my mom
Promise
said.
you.
Don't come. She said, don't you come back over here with that sugar.
Yeah, it's over. I've been over there. It's nothing you can do.
But I mean, like I said, like I told you in the beginning, my dad is yet to be wrong. He make a lot
For
of
sure.
mistakes on his end, but when it came to my life, he's yet to be wrong because I think he made a lot of decisions right. There was never a right or wrong. He made a choice, which is one of the hardest things for a man to do is make a choice. And then he made it work out. So that taught me to ain't no right or wrong choice. I mean, yeah, you got to have ethics and morals on the foundation, but if it's something you want to do, choose your path, and then you got to work through it. You got to keep trekking through it.
Ups and downs.
Yeah, those ups and downs. You're going to get them lessons along the ways. You're going to get hit a couple times, but you tough, right? Get up.
That's dope. I think that's why your dad love your wife, because he see her tough. She tough too.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking you. I'm like,
our first time meeting, we had a WWE match. She was so tough. She didn't want to go on a regular date. She wanted to wrestle. I said, that's that New York City coming out of you. I said, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying, fam. Like, how did you like navigating that? It's difficult because you're like, yo, short, is she too tough for me, bro? Like, that's slap boxing you like that.
Conversation at first. That was the conversation.
Yeah. I'm glad you stuck through it because I got a real one now. My wife real. Somebody Mike died, bro.
No, I want to see if Donnie can hear us because he ain't said nothing.
Oh. His mic died?
His mic died. Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh, man. Yeah, my man Donnie. Yeah, tell me if you got something he can ask. He can throw it in the chat, though, man. I love that, man. We got. Yo, send me your wedding pictures, man. When you get married, dog. I'm congratulating you early. That's fine.
Appreciate you. Shoot, y'all invited. I'll make sure y'all get the invite.
Oh yeah,
man. Look, listen. I'm gonna keep it hot with you, bro. Weddings are expensive.
Good thing.
Not expensive for you. Yeah, not expensive for you to have, but weddings are very expensive to attend, and people never really talk about that. Like, you got to buy your outfits. You got to have it's a lot.
Classmates are sending you, hey, come to my wedding, and you got to get there.
It's abroad, right? Come on, man. And then you be like, I ain't really like now that I had one, I understand what it means to be invited to one. Cause I'm like, this is a big deal when people invite you to their wedding. And that's why I go and tell them up front, I'm not going. I don't need it. I promise you I'm not. Yeah. It's a lot, bro. It's a lot.
All right. We got about 2 minutes. So I wanted Donnie to talk about his event that he has coming up, but I guess I could speak on it a little bit. Maybe Mario, you could chime in on it. So July 25th, Community Day is what it's called, right? So Richmond Community Day.
Yeah.
Book bag giveaway, education, and we are doing something like we never done before. We are not only doing this day, but we want to stay involved with the community, with the kids, with the adults, and we will have programs after that so everyone can succeed in life. Because I know, Mario knows, Donnie knows, and Josh also knows that you need that village that Mario was speaking about. But July 25th, I don't have the address, but I'll put it in the chat, or when I post anything about it, I'll make sure it's in the link. The link is in the bio once we do have everything confirmed. But July 25th, that is the date. We have the venue already. Beautiful place. Mario, you want to talk about the event and what you'll be doing there?
Yeah, so I think the job I've been attributed was kind of just helping host it, but also speaking, kind of like what I did here, but just speaking to everybody and just giving them a little insight and pointing them to some of the resources we're gonna make sure are out there, especially as far as mental health goes and any resources that come from the city that people might not know about. I know my gun violence program will be there and present. I'll have some of the families and kids out there from the program that are in it now, and like these are the early stages, but we've already got pretty good numbers. And I'm capping it off this year at 20. Just so I can have that group to get tight knit and really, I want to see the progress. I want to collect the data, and then hopefully next year I can expand it to 40, 50, 100 kids, and have different people to come in and help. People like y'all come and speak, teach the kids about different trades. What do y'all do for a living? Maybe that's an option for them. Just kind of get them that exposure, that lack of exposure that they have now is not enough. They need more access. So that's one of my initiatives. That's the mission of the program, to be access. To give them access to all that we have now.
Absolutely, that's dope. That's dope as heck. Well, that thing changed my life, man. I went to a college tour CIAA game when I was in high school, and I was talking to one of the students who would just say, just for the subject, just for speaking, he was just like you right now. And I was telling him about college, how I really wasn't that excited about it because I was trying to rap at that time. And homie really just told me, was like, yo, you go to college and you can pick classes to help you be a better rapper. He was like, yo, you make school work for you. And that was one of those eye-opening light bulb moments for me that I know a lot of kids in the hood probably need to hear. You don't have to, if you need to learn about world studies, you need to expand your vocabulary. So many different courses within a college that you can add, that can add to your repertoire as a rapper or whatever you want to do in life. And I feel like once kids really understand, you don't have to just go to be that. You can still hold on to your dreams while also pursuing a degree. And I feel
that's
like
what I did at Harvard. I was rapping and singing and stuff. I performed at the inauguration of the Harvard's both presidents, I think, or the leaving of one and the inauguration of the second the following year. It was with a group called 21cc. And I told my coach, he was a big advocate on, yo, what else do you want to do? I was like, I love music. I was making music in high school a little bit on SoundCloud. So one of the coaches played it in the gym and they were like, oh, go see this person on campus. So I went to the hip hop institution and I had like a class there that taught me a lot about, the music game and stuff. And before you know it, I was performing in front of 10,000 people back-to-back years with a big group of, other freshmen. And that showed me, hey, I don't know if basketball is going to cut it. I think my coach could see, I got to keep him engaged because I was getting too much attention from other things that I was starting to get passionate about other than basketball. So,
I ain't gonna say my highlights after that shit, but I ain't do too much, guys. 10,000 on me. I ain't no worry about it. I had a little play on the local 101.
Factory. You got jokes. You good like off like this. You be getting them off like that.
Oh, we say, yeah, man, yeah. That little thing you was doing in high school, my dude. I went to 211. It was me. It was Luke, Drizzy in there, like. Crazy. That's so dope though, man. But I think that what you just told me, that's changing kids' lives when you speak. Cause you like, yo, I went to Harvard and I was able to also do XYZ. And I feel like so many of our kids don't think that way. You think you're giving up on your dreams when you choose another path. That you can do both, man. You
just building that unicorn. You building an even crazier unicorn.
Absolutely. That's fire right there.
And I know we're a little bit over time. I know Donnie has Bible study after this. So in the school community, we have a lot of different resources in the school community as well. So we are trying to put together something so we can receive donations, not through the school community primarily, but we're trying to get a business plan where you could donate, you could fund, you can just help out kids in general. So I am more focused on making sure that the adults have the skills that they need to either you start a business, grow a business, different resources, stocks, real estate, things like that. Because I know growing up, I didn't know about stocks and real estate. I didn't know about scaling business. I didn't know about starting a business. And it's more than just having an LLC. It's more than just having an LLC. You do not want to just think about your business as, oh, I'm going to create an LLC. What you going to do after that? So that goes back to what are we going to do after this event?
Go to jail. Go to jail. Say what you do. You go to jail. You ain't paying no taxes. You ain't got nothing going on.
But we want to stay involved. We want to stay engaged. We want the kids to see the fruits of their labor and the parents to be proud of their kids and the kids to be proud of their parents as well. So until next time, it's a 5 a.m. club, and we're here every other, what's today? Monday? My days running together every other Monday. So until next time, 5 a.m. club.
Boom.